have yet to find that someone who can satisfy me, to stay right by me. Oh. As I do not own the rights to that music. Hey, listen, I'm in a good, laid back mood. Today been a real wild day, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Hi, Rosemary, my baby. How you doing, sunshine? Energies is high. How you doing? How you doing? You see my little Jesus doll back there? You see your Messiah sitting back there? How you doing, sunshine? Look, I've been going at it ever since this morning. I was like, am I going to actually get up here on live today? But I kind of I caught a break. So I got a little break. So now I'm, going to give a little, talk a little, give a little, be a little. How's you doing, my baby? What you up to? Let me keep this plugged in before. What you up to, sunshine? How's your day? How your day going? How is your day going? I'll get back on Snap in beginning of September. I'm just taking a big break away from a lot of the social media. YouTube is pretty laid back, chill, calm, cool, collective. There's no inboxing. There's no, if it is fake pages, they ain't gonna come up here any kind of way. Finding school. Oh, you're finding school supply. Is it hard? It's hard to get school supply, or it's just what you need. When y'all go back to school? When you go back to school, sunshine? What is it, July? Okay, July. I gotta put some air on my face. It's hot. I've been going to get it all day, honey. When you go back to school, sunshine? Happy finding school supply. Y'all can. I'm glad I'm out of that league. Good grief. I ain't got to worry about finding no book bags. I ain't got to worry about finding no pencils. I ain't got to worry about buying no more school clothes. Oh, going back to school is a buzz. Man, I had 3 kids to do it for. Good grief. Going back to school is not cool at all for me. I couldn't stand it. Like September. Oh, so your mom and dad get it early. Not me. I wait till the very last minute. My kids be like, Mom, we go to school next week. And then there I go rushing and breathing hard and wanting to do this and wanting to do that. But I wait till the very last minute to get my baby school clothes. I couldn't take it. Because if we got it early, them kids going to tear them books up. They're going to get in their clothes early. They're going to want to wear their shoes. And I'm going to let them. So I said, let me get it at the very last minute. That's how I did. I did everything at the very last minute. Because getting it before time, I knew they was going to put them clothes on because I was going to let them put them clothes on. Because I don't believe in holding things, too long. Like, get it right now. I need it right now. Okay, I'm going to get it right now. Versus getting it 30 days. I mean, some people like to get things early. I'm just at the last minute type of woman. Everything got to be at the last minute. I think even when I had my funeral, I'm gonna arrive at the last minute. Okay, sunshine, I love you too, baby. Thank you for coming up, my love. Mwah. You already know I love you, baby. All I got is nothing but love for you, baby. Hey. But yes, hello everybody. Hello. When y'all come, hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get whenever I go live. I very seldom do videos. I don't believe in just looking at a camera and then posting. That's the waste of time when I can get up here. You know how long it took me to get up here to go live, and YouTube is pretty good with speech. YouTube is pretty good with, let us express ourselves. So I love YouTube, even though TikTok tried to drive me away, but I had to come back home where I know home was, and I love it, regardless of how many people up here and how many people ain't up here. I love my YouTube.
YouTube is my community. That's just bottom line. So hit subscribe, share, tell a friend, hit that like button, come on in, be mature about this thing, have a good have some good manners, say hello, 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 how you doing, how you doing. And then if the message resonates with you, if the message hey sis, what it do, baby? What's up, my baby? Hey, kiss them babies for me. But if the message, how was your day, sunshine? If the message resonate with you, then and it will. Messages will resonate with everybody, because I am more about your inner standing than your outer standing. Outer standing is just a program, but your inner standing is your prophecy. It is your destiny. It is your activation. It is your awakening. So, when I go inward, it's all about the Almighty want you to come back home to your soul. So when I go into, everybody can resonate with everybody. So the messages I got today is self-discovery. So let's put your feet on, get your feet anchored, get your soul anchored. We anchoring. We're gonna get into groundedness, getting grounded with inner self reflection, the mirror, looking in your own mirror, not somebody else's mirror. We ain't got no business over here in somebody else's mirror. We got to be in our own mirror, right? It's now, understand, if you're going through any type of energy problems, if you think, okay, get your toe fixed, you like to tell, I'm a shower. Listen, I got so much music since I be working out, right? They be like, Siobhan, or I'm accumulating a lot of friends at the gym. One guy came up to me last night and gave me his little DJ card. He talking about, if you need a DJ, you can call me. I said, well, is this your real number? He gave me a little DJ card last night. Something he gave me. He come right over there to me, gave me his little DJ card, honey. He DJ, honey. Don't mess with him. He got it going on. He's a DJ. He not playing no games, honey. He's a DJ. He said he DJ anything you want. So he in the gym, and I knew him from when I was a child. He used to stand on the corner all the time when we were kids, and we used to say he's a weirdo. He's weird. What are he doing on that corner for? So now that I got to know him, we work out at the gym, so he came and he wanted me to follow him on Facebook, but I told him right now, I'm not doing too many social medias. So I'm meeting a lot of great people at the gym. I've been trying to get away to meditate, but they still come to me with, it's just because I'm chosen in my light. It draws a lot of people to me. And last night I'm working out, I'm getting through it, and then here they come. And one young lady, she started talking to me about being touched on. So when any guy make a passive statement towards her, or flirting with her, it triggers her. And I told her she needs some healing, because she think that everybody is out, it's that wound is fresh. So I told her, I said, it's because what happened to you, you're holding on to it, which I'm not saying never hold on to it. It is good to be aware, but don't be so defensive, because everybody is not trying to hurt you. And I told her, I said, you have to go within and get some healing. You got to go into prayer, get some music that'll soothe that wound, because that's a big step to step over, but don't let it make you bitter. So she talked to me a long time, and we she found a little comfort, and I know tonight she gonna get me again, so I'm prepared, but I got notes. I'm gonna try my best to stay on course. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best to stay on course. Again, I've been up ever since 5 this morning. So I read the audio. I went and start back reading the words so I can get more. Now that I'm more wiser, I'm very aware. I complete my cycle. The Almighty been sending me messages. The Almighty been letting me cross with other chosen ones. It is so exciting. I've been studying my energies, the feelings that I've been going through. The Almighty have been sending me online some people that is just really amazing. Learning, I'm learning now how to balance out. I learned so much, y'all. It's just my head is full of spiritual knowledge, how to move around in dimensions while I'm in my soul. Good grief. Listen, y'all might say this is bananas, but listen to me when I tell you what I had to endure, what I know now. Good grief. I look back on the old me, honey. She better get out the way. She better not even try to come back up and play. You heard me? Or I'm going to knock her slam out. And that's the old me. The old me will get knocked out. She better not even think about coming back over here. Not even trying to even touch this new me. Or I would knock the old me slam out, y'all. Yeah, she can get it. She can get it. But anyway, I've been having a ball with this new self. I learned so much. But anyways, y'all know it's Mercury retrograde. And what Mercury retrograde is, it's like the planets is going backwards. So everything is going to slow down. Communications is going to be dramatic. You're going to have a lot of ego clashes. The system's going to start being processed slow. You might start signing papers and forget about signing something. Your mind going to be a little absent. So it won't end until August the 11th. This is energies. Learn it. Not no voodoo, not no sorcery, not no practitioners. I guess that's what they call these people. Not no psychics, not none of that. This is about spiritual energies. I wrote it down. Let me get it right. This is about a spiritual combustion. Now, I learned it. Let me tell you now. I'm learning some stuff. This is about spiritual combustion. I have to write it the way it sounds so I can keep it, I can say, I don't word it the way the world word it. I have to word it a certain way so I can understand it. So getting into your spiritual combustions. And that is about appearance. Appearance lies. Hi, Prince William. Good afternoon, sunshine. What it do? What it is? What's up? Tell a friend, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so when I pop on live, you will see me always, unless I ghost you. Now, I will ghost to get some meditation time. Now, I will ghost, not ghosting because I don't want to speak, but I have to ghost to get back in, pour back into myself after I pour into the world. I have to go and pour back into myself, okay? So when I ghost, I'm not ghosting because I don't want to see anybody. I'm ghosting because now I have to meditate, restore, rebuild, and reboot, and come back out for a certain amount of time and do this thing again. You heard me. But spiritual combustion, and what I mean by spiritual combustion is when you go within. Now is the time to go within because of Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde it's an energy that will make you sit with yourself. Everybody needs to sit with themselves. Everybody needs to look in that mirror. Not through logic, not through therapy, not through other validations, not from what everybody else says should be, not through traditions, not through strategies, not through anything of this world. You need to go within and get with your soul. This is a must. And I'm telling y'all all this now because I done completed my whole spiritual journey. Now I move with spiritual combustion. That means I'm moving by energies. I'm moving by frequencies. I look beyond the flesh. I look beyond words. I look beyond titles. I look beyond entitlements. I look beyond anything in this physical realm. I want you. I want your soul. I want to speak to your within that was built before you came on this earth. I don't want the person you made yourself to be to fit into society norms. I don't want the traditional side of you. I don't want your mother's side of you. I don't want your father's side of you. I don't want anybody's side of you or whatever you created to be. My friend sent me a message so I could react to your channel. Oh, thank you. Oh, I guess I said, I ain't got my glasses on. Well, tell your friend I said thank you. Tell your friend I appreciate that. So I'm all about Prince Williams. I'm all about Prince. I think I'm saying that right. Prince B. Williams. I'm gonna say Williams because I can't really see. I'm working on my glasses right now, and I can't wear them Dollar Trees anymore. They pull for my eyesight. So I got the eye doctor. I got an eye doctor appointment where I can get my glasses that when I take them off, they won't pull from my eyesight. So right now I'm not gonna. They told me don't wear the Dollar Tree glasses anymore. So I'm gonna stay. So y'all, that's why y'all see me without the glasses. But anyways, tell your friend, you see me looking up. Tell them I said thank you, okay? Tell your friend I say I appreciate it. Now over here, I am a chosen one. I'm in my purpose, full blown in my purpose. I tell you how to self-discover, how to go in and heal your own wounds, not codependent on anybody else, codependent on the Almighty God, the Messiah, of course. You get what I'm saying? The Holy Spirit. Um, I'm about truth. I'm very raw with it. Now I don't pamper wounds. I don't do excuses. I don't do escape exits. I do natural born who you are, who you are naturally to be born as. And that's within yourself. All your answers are in. They inside of you. They've been with you before you even came to earth. But being as though we got programmed by family, you start end up looking for friends to get validation, jobs, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. You know, as you growing, you're either going to, you know, discover who you are, or you're gonna have discoveries of other people, meaning you're gonna mimic other people's energy. Now you're gonna become a shapeshifter. And shapeshifters are people that can adapt and fit in anywhere because they don't know their true identity. So I'm all about spiritual combustion, getting within you your own self-worth, not depending on others, not depending on other people's behaviors, how you react to other people's behaviors. That is a mirror. Like, just say if you got a boyfriend and girlfriend and y'all been together for 6 months and you not immediately fell for that person, or a year in, you immediately fell all the way in for that person. You hand them your wounded heart without offense, without a lock, without any type of protection. You just hand them over your heart. And when they step on it, now you can feel that wound that surfaced up. Where did that wound come from? That person didn't wound you first. Those are hidden wounds that a lot of people go in relationships, and then when they get ghosted, they have a meltdown. When they get rejected, they have a meltdown. When they get abandoned, they have a meltdown. These are past tense wounds that you've done forgot about. Like I always say, even with celebrities, a lot of people idol them. But people don't realize if you just sit back and let the Almighty unravel and let him lift the veil up, those people are everyday people just like we are. They came out of hoods. They came out of the gutter. They came out of homeless positions. They sold their souls for money. Their parents sold their souls for money. Mothers sold their daughters for money. Fathers sold their sons for money, even if the father was in or the father was in, but the father just didn't care. Do what we will with our children. You get what I'm saying? They just like everybody else. The only thing is appearance. A lot of people can't see past the appearance of individuals because idling is a spell. Idling is a sin. We do not supposed to idolize nobody. We do not supposed to take orders and get our truth from the same thing that we are, which is a creation. When a person is not healed, they cannot give you proper information. They cannot spiritually move you. They can only physically move you with a thought or maybe a half truth, but they're not spiritually in tune. So a lot of things in this earth is going by textbooks or what a philosopher think it should be. But when you get into your spiritual combustion, meaning when you go within yourself and you sit with yourself and you already know what hurt you. You know, when you were a child, you wasn't heard, you wasn't seen, you wasn't loved properly. That's going to form wounds, and those wounds is going to grow with you. And the more those wounds are wide open, the more Satan can come in and grow with you. And that's how Satan does it. He gets you broken in as a child. I'm not saying everybody was molested, but if you were molested, if you're hiding that wound, Satan can use you anytime. If you were physically abused as a child, Satan can use you anytime, because a lot of people get taken away from healing fast and they forget the past. So when you get taken away from healing fast and you forget the past, eventually your past going to catch up with your fast. So it's good to go slow and go back and surrender. And when you surrender, you can take baby steps with each wound at a time. Because when you get in relationships, a lot of people blame that man or woman for hurting them, but it's your hurt. It's because you haven't self-discovered why you're still hurting, why you having meltdowns if somebody reject you. If somebody reject you, that means you got rejection wounds. If somebody abandoned you, you got abandonment wounds. If somebody physically hurt you, you got physical abuse wounds. Somebody verbally hurt you and you can't move forward. You just can't get up. You can't do whatever. So you just go cover it up with success, or you make it up with something physical. So you having a physical makeover, but you're very, very ugly in spirit. And this is not just for narcissists. I don't know why people say narcissists. No, we all are sinners. And we all got to go within. We all got to get back home to our souls so we can be anchored and grounded. You don't need nobody validation. You don't need nobody to rescue you. You don't need nobody to be codependent on. You got to learn how to go through the codependency. You have to learn how to go through the breakdowns when you have to peel off the layers of that false image that you built from off of grounds of pain. So now you got this armor on of who you choose to be, but who you not supposed to be. So you got to tear down the not supposed to be and get into who you supposed to be. It's your choice. But I prefer to let that past you go and get into the you that you're supposed to be, who the Almighty created you to be in spirit, not in flesh. The flesh profits nothing. It's nothing can come good out of the flesh. Satan runs the flesh. Satan have authority over the flesh for a reason. Not the reasons many take it as, oh, they broke my heart. Oh, my mom and dad broke my heart. I got mommy wounds. I don't have mommy wounds. I don't have daddy wounds. I refuse to let what they did to me as a child affect me as an adult. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, because I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to take on those type of wounds when now I have a choice to close my own wounds. Yeah, they sliced me open. My mother sliced me open. My dad never came around, so he couldn't wound me. I'm not mad about his absence. His absence was the greatest thing he could ever done to me, because that means we didn't form a connection. So I can't cry about he wasn't in my life, and I can't fathom, and I can't move forward. I can't miss nothing I don't know nothing about. So I don't know nothing about him. I can't miss him. I can't get angry with him. I can't allow, because he didn't come in my life to upset me, because guess what? I don't know what went down with him. I don't know what went down between him and my mother, but I got a good frequency of what went down, and what went down, what I got in spirit really went down in spirit. It was only just a boo thing. It was only just a drug thing. It was only just, I'm hot, you're horny, let's link up. And here I come, because that's what the Almighty needed. The Almighty needed me to come through. They didn't desire to have me. My mom didn't desire to have me. My dad didn't desire to have me. They got each other by the spirit. By the flesh. The dark spirits ran them together. And the Almighty in the dimension ran them together so I can get here. So it doesn't matter if you come from a 2-home family or a 1-home family or a no-home family. In the spiritual realm, that's not how it is blueprinted. It don't matter if your parents was in church. It don't matter if your parents wasn't in church. We got to come through some type of body. We got to go back and break the curse. Regardless if we did some of the things that the bloodline did and we didn't do. And there's some things the bloodline did that we did that the bloodline didn't do. But we got to go back in because we are chosen to go back in. We're chosen to go back in and decode and disarm and dismantle. I'm not worrying about who mad. I'm not worrying about who attacked. I'm not worrying about who in their feelings. I'm worrying about getting the job done for the Almighty. Loyalty, obedience. And once you obey, then you can love. Because love falls right into the place of loyalty. You got to be loyal. If you can't be loyal, I'm not saying everybody perfect. You ain't going to have a little mess up. But it's not going to be a traumatizing mistake. It's not going to be a guilt and shame mistake. Okay, if you ask somebody to forgive you and somebody asks you to forgive them and you agree, let it go. If you want closure and you can't fathom that person that walking away from you and you can't give yourself closure, you got to go in that mirror. Because now you are attracting yourself to behaviors. And that's important. When you cling on to somebody for their behavior, there is a problem. There is an inner wound that you haven't dealt with. Maybe a long line of telling yourself you're not worthy enough. And then here come a man or a woman that tell you you're worthy, and then they end up breaking your heart. Now you're going back to square one. I told you, I knew I wasn't worthy enough. I knew I wasn't good enough. Like they say, I never be nothing. I never amount to nothing. You got to go back to those wounds. You're out here wounded and you are loving other people by behaviors. You are drawn to other people by behaviors. You are finding coping mechanisms, dating, websites, encyclopedias, Google, friendships, jobs, 6 figures, LLCs. These are physical makeovers. So you won't have to go within. But when you move fast, you're going to leave behind your past. That's why it's important to slow roll it. Because if you're going to try to move fast, now you're going to leave a lot of stuff undone. And as you're moving fast, you're building an armor fast. Because now you're trying to fit in. Now you're people pleasing. Now you need validation. Now you're trying to control a narrative by kind words or shutting up or cooking for somebody or cleaning for somebody or taking somebody abuse or trying to pay for somebody attention or paying for sex. It got all kinds of scenarios to wounds. You gotta take care of your wounds. You gotta go back and take care of your past. Again, when you apologize, that don't mean that you got to sit there in a puddle of guilt all day long, apologize all day long. I'm sorry. No. Once you apologize, once you ask for forgiveness and vice versa with you, and somebody come and apologize and ask for forgiveness, that means we sealed the deal. Even if they don't come and ask for ask for acceptance or you forgive them, you still seal the deal. Why is you sitting there waiting for somebody to return back home to you? Self-discovery. Turn back home to you. You got to be grounded and anchored in you. You shouldn't need somebody else to get you grounded. You got to learn how to get yourself grounded. And once you know how to return back home to you and fix up your wounds with the help of the Messiah, because he's going to help you. I'm a living, walking prophecy. I didn't run with logic. I didn't run the therapy. I didn't have a strategic a mission. I didn't shortcut it. I went through the fire. Yes, the fire was intense because I didn't understand it. But now that I go back and look back, because now I completed the cycle, I'm still going to move forward. And now that the cycle completed, now I'm ready for the next chapter. 444 on the clock. I'm on the right path. The almighty timing, divine timing. All the chosen ones, not the tarot card readers, not the practitioners, not none of them. The Holy Spirit gives each one of his children, because we have a very high assignment when the Almighty ready to take us off. But we got to go through fire. We not going through just normal little teeny fire. We arguing with the family. Oh, I'm mad with them for about a month or two. Oh, I don't want that man, or I don't want that woman. Or you're getting a little bitter, you're getting a little grumpy, you're getting a little sassy, you're getting a little passive. No, 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 no. We still have to remain happy, joyful, loving, caring, kind, compassionate, nurturing, with boundaries. Soft but strong. Alert and vigilant. Sober and obedient. Because the adversary, he's walking around. So we always on missions. No matter if I go and deliver an order to a homeless person on the street, I'm there for a reason. To comfort him. To comfort her. Just before I got on here, I was sitting with a little lady. I went and gave her a delivery, and I never met her. And all this time I've been delivering to her, but I noticed I kept going back to this address every week here lately, and I didn't understand it, but I let it go. But today I now the Almighty revealed why I had to go back to this address. And for some odd reason, she must have saw me, the little dog be in the window, be arf, 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 arf. And I'd be like, ain't nobody scared of you, sunshine. You ain't big, you ain't bad. And he arf, 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 and little tail wiggling. So I'm learning how to read energies from pets. So I'm getting good at that too. So she come to the window and she speak, and I say, hey, sunshine, nice meeting you for the first time. And this been 2 years in. And she came and she started talking about the Almighty God. And she said, I got breast cancer. So I gave her I give big giant hugs. I hug big. And she said, oh my goodness. And she just rested in my upper top. And she said, I really need that. She said, I've been in here. I could see where she's trying to force herself to be happy. But I told her, I said, what you speak, you got to do. And she said she go to this church, but they can't give testimonies. And she gave a testimony and said the people in the congregation was like, oh. I said, that's why you need to come out. The noise. Churches is a bondage. I would never, and when my husband come, we're not going to church. We are the church. We on a high assignment. And I'm going to mess up in my speech because Mercury retrograde will make you mess up, which I mess up all the time. So it's Mercury retrograde all the time with me. But anyways, I know now what me and Twin got to do. But I got to wait for Twin walk into his truth and ready to open up and surrender. I can't force my twin. My twin got to do it on his own. And I'll go over there and check on him, his progress. But I'm not going to intervene what he got going on with his spiritual combustion. So he got to do what he got to do. I'm not going to intervene. I'm not going to root him on. I'm not going to cheer him on, because this is something he got to crack and break. He got to peel back the layers of what he used to where he built himself to be, so he could stay protected from getting hurt again. So that's his mission, and he got to go through it. But I do in spirit pray and send prayers over to my twin. I do know my twin. Me and my twin is just alike. Oh my goodness. I laughed at one of his videos. I went back to one of his old videos, and now I can understand that he was talking about me. He was like, the woman I used to date, I'm not saying she's a narcissist, but she sure got a lot of the traits. Twin flames mirror each other. And I think I said this before. He told me, you just like me. You got narcissist traits. And I said, I'm not no narcissist. I don't know where you got that bright idea from. And I had to go back and self-reflect. And all the things that I seen him say and he did, I'm like, oh, wow. Wow, I got these traits. And I immediately, him mirroring me, I immediately start getting to work on it. Control, arrogance, didn't like to be rejected, didn't like to be abandoned, had a big old ego that I didn't even know, had a lot of lustful issues, very flirty. I didn't pay this no attention. I thought that I was fine the way I was. I thought that, being flirty, people like it. That's how you draw people to you. I thought, having sex and showing your expressions in the bedroom, that was a form of love. All of the things that he talked about, I had. And I immediately went to the Almighty, and I had to let go control. I had to surrender to lust. I had to surrender to lies. I had to surrender to manipulation. I had a lot of dark shadows that I had to confront. Was it easy? Absolutely not, because it was with me all my life, and I never was told that this is this and that is this and that. Then I learned how to feel energies, and when I start feeling energies, I'm like, I'm losing my mind. Why am I feeling this? If somebody thinking about me, then 2 minutes later they texting me, and I'm like, what? I had to learn, because I thought I was losing it. Now I understand everything that I had to go through to get back into my soul. Now I can walk. This meat jacket is just a jacket. It don't mean anything to me. I know I got to keep it clean. I know I got to eat a certain way now. I know that, I got to put clothes on it, but it don't have no value to it. It don't value nothing. It is no value for me. So I wrote down some things. I'm going to try to read my notes. I'm going to try. Please work with me. I wrote down some stuff that I went through. This is stuff that, if y'all can see it, this is stuff that I went through when I was going through my spiritual awakening. And I had to learn how to transmute energies. And I think y'all heard me say that a lot. Awareness is the start of your alchemy, which is the start of your journey, the start of your soul, the start of your confronting triggers. This is a big thing. My twin showed me my triggers. Jealousy. I did not know that I had bad jealousy. I had bad jealousy. When it came to my men, I was very jealous. I didn't want them to talk to women. I didn't want them to communicate. My control and my jealousy went neck to neck. If they did it, I ghost you. If you do it, I'm going to give you the silent treatment. Or I'm going to do something to hurt you, to stop you. This is one of my triggers. I wrote it down, and I will share it with you all. I don't have no problem with it. It is what it is. This is just how I had to heal. Panicking. I had bad panicking. Like if something go wrong, I'm panicking. I didn't have no control over it, but I still try to control situations that I didn't have no control over. If something go wrong, I'm panicking, because I hated failures, because all my life I've been failed. These are things that I had to go through. So I went through some, reevaluating the things that I conquered with the Holy Spirit. So panicking was one of the things. Needy. I wasn't needy, but I needed a man in my life to feel like I was complete. So when I had relationships, it wasn't that I was needing their materialistic things, but I was needing their company. I never went without having a man from the age of, when I got molested at 11 to the age of 44 years old. From the age of 11, by getting molested by uncles, until the age of 44 years old, I always had a man. So my voice was needy of my space, my company. I always had to have somebody. I couldn't get alone, so being alone was like intense for me. The only time I wanted to be alone is when my flesh was ready to run the road. Or I wanted to go away sometimes and just get into myself, but not into myself because I wanted to discover myself, but just to get away from the chaos, because I was very violent and I was very physical abusive. So, I would just get away to cool down so I won't go to jail. But I wasn't getting away to self-discover myself. You get what I'm saying? So I was very needy with needing a partner. You get what I'm saying? So that was another one of my triggers. As a child, I'm going over here all the things I'm wrote, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to word all this, because there was so much I had to put down for myself to get where I'm at today. As a child, I was unseen, I was unheard, and I was unloved. So that accumulated those wounds, and it accumulated Satan to grow with me. So when I go through jealousy with a man, when I go through a panic, when I go through neediness, or when I go through sexual desires, or when I go through can't be alone, if I get out of one relationship, I'm gonna go ahead and start another one before I dodge that one. So those are the reason why I had to go through, all of this spiritual death, all these ego deaths, because as a woman, I wasn't walking my truth. I was walking in my falseness. And walking in my falseness is like, I am going to tell the truth about it, but I had an armor on because I had to protect. I was in survival mode all my life. So I was afraid to be vulnerable to a man. And the men that I did have, they were very compassionate, even though we were violent with each other. I was just crazy. I was a very wild and deranged type of female. A man couldn't put a leash on me. He tried, but it ended up I put the leash back on him. So I was just out of control. I was very undisciplined. I was unlearned. I just went with whatever. You get what I'm saying? Not just went with anything, but whatever my body felt, I did. If my body said I feel like cheating with somebody, I'm gonna lurk out somebody, keep them in the cut. So when the home act up, or when I want to make an excuse to get out, I'll go out. So it's a lot of things that I had to sit down and rediscover. So I had to revisit myself. And as I was going through these ego deaths with the Almighty, they were very, very painful, but it was for my better good. And my better good was to get back home to my soul, be anchored in my power, take my power back, stop being there for loved ones that wasn't there for me, stop giving my loved ones when my loved ones can come with me, not pampering them or not feeding into their wounds, but be looking beyond their wounds, not playing into their wounds. Well, mama ain't this, mama ain't that. And I used to fall for that. And then mama be behind my back and they be behind my back with mama. So I just had to, sit back, snatch out. My family was the hardest thing to break, not a man. I always tell y'all that. I don't never blame a man, because that man did not hurt me. That man did not hurt me. That man just helped me recognize what was hurting me. That man was just a void. That man was just there to fill a void that I did not go and fill myself. So who I am today, I don't need a man to make me. I don't need a man that I need to be codependent on, because I don't want to be alone. I love being alone now. I love that I can do this for myself. I love that I can snatch my power back and detach. I'm not mad at everybody, because the only reason why my family members attack me, the only reason why my family members ghost me, or the reason why my family members ran from me, is because they don't want to face their truth. And when you don't want to face your truth, the ego is going to make them individuals attack an individual that is threatening it. These are spiritual battles that you have to go through with self. So whenever a man come in your life and he hurt you, he didn't hurt you. He's only getting you to recognize what is still open, where that wound at. So if that man abandoned you and you start panicking, you start having meltdowns, you start chasing him, you start crying out, you start manipulating, you start going out there giving smear campaigns yourself, not just the narcissist, but the individual that is attached to the narcissist. Y'all came together for a reason. You wasn't together because you loved them. You loved them off of emptiness. You loved off of woundedness. You didn't love off of wholeness, because when you're whole, you don't need the person there to fill a void. Y'all are there to walk beside each other, to create, to dominate, to build legacies. You gonna pull your end, he gonna pull his end. But when you are wounded, somebody gonna pull both ends, and somebody gonna pull just the thin end. So it all stems on who is vulnerable to the point where I'm going to take on and carry on all the weight, and the other one is not going to carry the weight. The other one is going to have you to carry your weight, your family weight, your job weight, your synagogue weight, and your family weight. That's a lot of spiritual weight that you're carrying. So how can you return to yourself? You can't return to yourself. How are you going to discover yourself? You're not going to be able to discover yourself. You're going to have a hard time finding out who you are. So it's important to detach, pull your energy back. Now, if you got small kids, you can't pull your energy back from them, but you can go in and rediscover yourself so your kids won't get part of that spiritual poison from the generation, because this is a generational thing. It's not a man and a girl thing. It's not a boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife. We only married off of face value. So when he cheat on you, you should have seen that if you was in a spiritual value. But a lot of people isn't, and none of us was in the beginning. We wasn't even in our own value. So if we ain't in our own value, how we expect somebody to come in and be valuable to us and we valuable to them when we haven't even built our value? Give me a minute. I got to get some water. Drink. I'm talking a lot. So, yeah, spiritually dead. Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. That's why the Almighty gave up the only begotten Son, so he can transmute our sins so we can understand the wicked one. Satan is evil. Satan is very cold-hearted. Satan got a lot going on. He can't fool anybody, especially when you're not awakening. So we all were spiritually dead. We all are sinners. We all got to repent. We all got to take accountability. We got to quit pointing the finger. We got to quit saying, oh, he came in and he cheated on me. Oh, she came in and she cheated on me. Go back to your mirror. That wounded mirror. That you. Face you. Self-discovery, and you look in it, and the behaviors of that person done triggered you, where you done came out of yourself. It done made you cry. It done made you complain. A lot of people in the graveyard for suicide. A lot of people sitting in prison for anger. A lot of people, it's triggers. That trigger didn't just come from that individual. That trigger been there. Triggers are something that's been going with you for a while. So when you get in a relationship, you fell in, eyes shut, spirit shut, but physical body open. So that's why a lot of people are hurt. And a lot of people go get coping mechanisms. A lot of people get on drugs. A lot of people smoke cigarettes. A lot of people get fake friends. A lot of people get in relationships that they really don't want to be there. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I was in these relationships, even the little side pieces, I didn't care. I didn't care. It was like the only time I really had a connection is when we were in the bedroom or we were doing something fun. I'm a very fun type of female. I always have fun. Anybody know me? Siobhan, that's one. She keeps it fun. She keeps it high. She keep you laughing. She cool people. That's all you're going to hear about me. But I was running. I couldn't connect with a man soul to soul because I didn't know my own soul. So I can't connect to something that I don't know myself. So I would just be at a connection on wounds and traumas. You know, he got same thing I got. Because if he want me, he got to have some traumas. Because he can't see me for who I am, and I can see him for who he is, but I still want it because I can't deal with a whole man. A whole man wouldn't be able to complete me, because what I mean by a whole man, a real spiritual man, like a man that went within, not successful, not vocabularies, not degrees and validation and people pleasing and dainty this and dainty that. And I ain't talking about that type of man. That man's physical. He's easy to get. I'm talking about a deep spiritual man that can connect with me within. Soul to soul, I wouldn't be able to pick that type of man. I wasn't drawn to that type of man. That man, if he did get in my life, I'm going to see, can I break him down? I did it twice. Break a man down, and he was pastor. I said, you ain't no pastor, bro. You with me. How you going to be a pastor? Pastors, you would have never laid with me if you a pastor. A pastor do not lay. And I knew the truth. But my flesh was telling me, let's live these lies. I enjoy living lies. I enjoy fornicating. I enjoy committing adultery. I enjoy ghosting. Silent treatment, I'm silenced anyway. I'm not a great talker. I talk on here because this is my calling. But when I cut this camera off, I'm my own best friend. I'm everywhere by myself. I go everywhere by myself. I pick myself up. If I go through major battles, I'm by myself. Everything is by myself because that's where the Almighty need me to get. That is my strength. That is my wherewithal. That is my compass. So whenever something off, I go in a frequency and see what's around me. Why is it off? Or if the Almighty giving me signs and synchronicities, I have to sit back and see and document it. What am I thinking about? Why these numbers up here? What is this on my mind? I'm very in tune with my spirit now. I'm in my purpose. But was it easy? No. Did it take a while? It took almost 7 years. But I did it nonstop, regardless of the attacks, the humiliation, the sabotaging, car accident, my twin rejected me, my daughter dying on me, my son going to prison on me, and my oldest son just physically attached from me spiritually. It's okay. I'm all right because that's they running from them. I got to run to me. I can't run after them because I got to get me. I got to know who I am. This is my opportunity to know who I am. I can't be running after these folks because these folks got to do the same thing I got to do. Find themselves. Peel back those egos. Have ego deaths. Go and activate their awakening. Not chase, not lie, not read up on it, but activation. And once you learn how to activate, that's when you activate your awakening. And that means a lot of meditation, a lot of self-awareness, a lot of self-reflection. You got to take accountability. You can't be doing the blaming. Well, I'm going to blame my mother. I'm not blaming my mother. My mother didn't know her. I didn't even know my mother, my real mother. I knew my fake mother. I didn't know my dad at all. So he was fake when he died. My daughter, I knew her as her innocent, but when she started transforming, I knew her real her. But when she got in the streets, I learned her fake her. My children, I knew their real them. I never took their innocence away from them. I did what I was supposed to do, much as I knew to love on my kids. But when I found out they're fake them, I knew it was something wrong. The transformation going backwards. I'm like, this is not you. What took your innocence? What took your happiness? What took your laughter? See, when they start turning evil, I knew it was something involved. What's involved? Why y'all angry now? Why y'all mad? What's going on? So I had to know when they start going backwards, there's a reason. Something taking them away from them. And I knew it had to be something in this world that's starting to change and transforming them from happy to evil. Joy being snatched to vindictive. Their value now is devalued. So I learned the transformations going backwards, and I'm like, man, I gave them my heart. I had to open my heart up to my kids. Now my kids, they study me, so oh man, don't ask mama a lot of questions. Mom, you keep asking her, she gonna dodge you. Or I say I'm coming. In my heart, I'm coming, but something might have distract me, and I done went the other way. And then people be like, Shimon, you told me you're gonna show up. Oh man. And I meant to, but it was something distracted me and I went to the opposite way. So it was a lot of things that I had to sit down on this paper. And there's a lot more that I can talk about. And I'm going to talk about that. I had to sit down and go within and peel back and control. Lust and jealousy was one of the 3 main things that was really, because I was very jealous. I mean, I guess I just didn't want my men around nobody. I just wanted to control because all my life, everybody had control over me and just did me whatever. So I gravitated to my men and wanted control and jealous. But deep down inside, I really wasn't jealous. I just love that I can control my, the jealousy can control them. Oh, she loved me, she jealous of me. And I used to laugh, get tattoos, put their name on me. With my ex, I put his name on me just to break him down, to get control. I thought about all this today, this morning, and I wrote it down. And I'm like, man, I got a lot of stuff to clean. I had a lot of stuff to clean up, and I got somebody to take this tattoo off of me because it was only to manipulate the narrative, to control him, to make him feel like I was into him, to get him into me. You get what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things as coming out of abuse, dysfunctions, grown up not knowing anything about the soul, not knowing anything about God, not knowing anything about spiritual combustions, not knowing anything about frequencies, anything about energies. And it's not, the Almighty is spirit. So I had to learn how to hear his voice, navigate his voice, understand the mission. So I learned none of this from them. I only start learning this when, y'all know I'm working, so I'm looking up there. I only learned this when the Almighty awakened me. Not textbooks, not therapy, not sitting with older elderly person and they just spitting wisdom of the world at me, or dark wisdom. I had to really go in and do the shadow work that hurt extremely bad because I didn't know what I was doing. But now I go back and connect the dots, and I'll be like, oh man, that's this. Me and Heavenly Father had a talk last night, and I was like, Heavenly Father, you let me go through all of that now, and I understand it. Not yelling at him at all. I have to say that. But let me see. Emotional dependence. That's another thing. Emotional dependence. I was emotionless. So emotions was not a factor. My kids brought this one to my attention. They said, Mom, we couldn't even ask you a question. You'd be like, go sit your A down, get out my D face, go sit down, you little MFers. I had to repent. I said, yes, I used to say that. I would lay on the chair. I'd be tired from work because I worked a lot. And when they come, Mommy, can we get in? Mommy, get your DAs out my face. You little MFers, go sit down some D-Ware. Go on, what's up with? I used to say stuff like that. This used to come out of my mouth, out of my heart. What defiles a man? What's in their heart? My heart was wounded. But what I was doing, I thought I was a A-OK mama. I mean, they laugh about it. We suck it up and be friends. Suck it up and be children and parent. But I still had a side that had instilled in them anger. Anger instilled in my kids from me and their father. Violence instilled in my kids from me and their father. Hiding secrets. They didn't know anything about my childhood. They found this out when I started talking on these platforms. They didn't even know about my childhood. So they're looking at this woman like, man, Mom, you went through all that. Why you ain't tell us? Well, I should have. You're too young to take on these type of burdens. Because if I would have told them as children, guess what would have happened? They would have grew up, my mama this, my mama that, which my oldest son used that to get over on them women's, but that's on them. Because if he can tell them anything, and that's another thing too for a lot of women, I notice, when you get a man and you're wounded inside, you got a lot of triggers. When you get a man, you start going in competition mode with that man mama, with that man's sister, with that man auntie, with that man family members. Now you trying to control the narrative like, I can show up for everything for you. You don't need them. I got you. But you don't got you. How can you try to run and be there for this man, running circles around all his needs because you're needy? So you need something to lean on just in case he run away from you. Now you got some collateral to bring back at him. I was there for you when nobody was there for you. I cooked for you. I cleaned for you. I've been there for you. I got you this. I got you that. But you only gave him all of that because you didn't love you. Because if you loved it, you wouldn't need to do that to complete him or you. So you're loving off of wounds. So you're going to use your wounds to manipulate the narrative. So now you are now looking at face value, but spiritual value, you ain't got it. So you're going to come in trying to hide your demons as well. So now you're going to shape shift into a relationship to keep the manipulation and controlling and praying and wishing nobody in the family see you, and keep it up to the point where everybody fall for you, but falling for you got a lot of destruction in you. You got a long line of generational cycles and patterns that you got to fix. So mama might tell you, being a companion for that man is good, or being a good partner, or being a good cook, or being passionate, or being his right hand. How can you be all of that when you ain't your own right hand? You're not even anchored. So you're going to use things of face value to draw that man in, so he's going to cheat because you're not whole inside. Not perfect. I'm talking about being whole. There's a difference. Nobody's perfect. We all are imperfect people. Ain't no situation going to be 100% top notch. All right. No, there's going to be ups and downs. But when them ups and downs occur or behaviors occur, do it trigger you? If rejecting you trigger you, then you got to go back. Somebody rejected you where that rejection spirit that activated some type of panic in you, activated an anxiety in you. That rejection, just say a man, use a man for example. If that man reject you, how are you going to act to his behavior? Is that behavior going to make you chase him? Is that behavior going to make you cling to him? Is that behavior going to make you go in panic mode? Is that behavior going to make you become needy and go on medication or drugs? Or if so, you got to go back to your mirror. It's a rejection wound been sitting there that you hid. You got out of life fast and you forgot about your past. This is the problem. A lot of people move fast and forget that they got a past. That's why it's important to go back to your past and revisit those graveyards so you can go ahead and bury those spiritual, mental, abusive relationships for your emotions' sake. It's time to get into your true emotions. Yeah, love first was hard for me. Love? Why I got to say I love somebody? I don't love nobody. Only my kids. My ex used to say you only love you and yours, but he was correct. He was calling it correct, but I was like, oh, he's seeing it. I start cussing. You don't see nothing. I'm loving no you and yours, you MFer. I love your daughter. I show up for your daughter. Yeah, you love kids. That's the only reason why you're showing up for it, because you just love kids in general. And I'm looking like this dude here, but I was cussing. But he seen it, but I didn't know that I was projecting and gaslighting. And he went with it because he was running. He needed somebody firm and strong because all he known was softness, people pleasing, validation, running back to family when he drowning, running back to family because he can't stand up. He seen that I didn't run. I faced my fears. I had a lot of fears, but I faced them. Shaking and all. I might pee down my leg. I might poop on myself. But I'm going to face them fears because it's a solution in them fears. I might throw up. I might faint. But I'm going to face them fears. And facing your fears will make you get into your power. Every fear you face, you're taking your power back. You're stepping into you. You're making a relationship with your soul. Every fear. You're scared to love, truthfully. I mean, without any, fleshly attachments, without any type of nervousness, is afraid to love. I'm not afraid to love now because now my love had boundaries and I know who to love, not blindly loving. And now I'm getting hurt and I'm getting hurt. And another one, let me see. I got some more down here and make sure I'm going right. Purpose and direction. I got to read my notes, y'all. I told you I write weird. And another emotionally dependence when just say, how do you feel if a person don't call or text you? Just say if they don't call and text you, what would they do to you? What does that do? What does they do to you? Like if it not just a relationship, you can text a friend, their friend don't text back. How does that make you feel? If you call somebody and they don't pick up the phone, how does that make you feel? Though these are emotional dependence, meaning triggers. Does it activate or spark up some type of emotion that makes you feel depressed, um trauma, panic, loneliness, fears, needy. Something coming out of that. Something gonna come out of that. Do your moves rise up? Give me 1 second. And I got to go. Do your moves rise up? Like if somebody say, I don't want you anymore. I don't think this gonna work out. What does that do to you? What does that make you feel like? Does that make you feel like you're worthless? Does that make you feel like you ain't important? Does that take your value from you? It's all about anchoring. You got to learn how to anchor and be grounded in your truth. Don't become desperate. If somebody walk away from you, let them walk. Don't chase. Don't chase. As much as you want that person, you got to understand why you are attaching yourself to this individual. If you're looking for a man or a woman to be with you until y'all erase up off this earth, y'all both got to be in your wholeness. Chasing is not going to make that man or woman stay with you. Having these breakdowns and going on these social medias, talking to random strangers about a resonating message. He left me, she left me, you left you. You may got taken away from you from childhood, but it's all blueprinted for a reason, to get you back home. You can't go back home easily. And by you getting back home, by walking and dealing with all these fears and having all these ego deaths, guess what? Your spiritual combustion will start anchoring. You will start being grounded. You'll stop being needy. You'll overcome your traumas. I'm a living witness for everything. So it's important to understand, why are you triggering off of other people's behaviors? If that man say he don't want you, okay. Me and my twin went through that. When my twins, I was calling out the things that I seen in my twin. My twin didn't like it. Twin said, I'm backing up. I don't want to date. I said, cool. All right. Understandable. Cool. But it didn't stop me from feeling his energy, because we have a big destiny. But guess what? He wanted me to back up. Cool. I back up. I'm gonna back up. All right, I backed up for a while. So I checked back in on December, see where he was, see where his progress was, because I was going through a lot of ego deaths. And I had told him, I said, I got to go pour into myself. I'm done pouring into everybody. I got to let you go too. But I went to progress to see, and he wasn't there yet. So I couldn't, force him. So I was like, this is it, and then I had to go through it with my son again, my daughter, and all that. And then he was in my energy, and he was tugging it, and I didn't know how to transmute it, bring it back to me. So I just reached out to him. I said, quit. I'm cussing now. I was angry. Quit pulling on my D energy. I wasn't cussing at him, but this is just how I felt in the moment. Then I had to go repent. And I just, from that point on, left it alone. I wasn't going to chase him, because I'm not a chaser. Once I go through a lot of major abuse, or a lot of major breakdowns and shifts, I have to pour back into myself. I'm not chasing family. I don't have friends. I'm not chasing twin. I'm not chasing jobs. I'm not chasing money. I'm not chasing anything. I now is grounded and anchored in my power. So now when anything come amongst me, I let it sit there, and I evaluate the frequency. So I'm gonna teach a lot more about all of this. But right now, y'all, I gotta go. It's hot. I got to get up out of here. I got to go get an order. I love y'all. If I may. I don't think I will, because I got to hit the gym tonight. I will holler at y'all later. Y'all be easy, nice, and loving and kind to yourself. And just know, take your power back. You don't need nobody's permission to be beautiful. You don't need nobody validation to move forward. You don't have to check in with anybody to be yourself. Be who you supposed to be, and let them be who they supposed to be, because without you, I love you too, baby cakes. And kiss them babies for me so very much, sis. I appreciate you. You don't need no permission, no validation. And you don't need nobody words or vocabulary words or their mindset to tell you how to do your mindset. You belong to you. Own it. Love you. Love you, sis.